All right, boys, we are back, and it's time to continue year three with our San Jose Sharks. But no more playing games in year three. It's time for the year three offseason. Out in the second round from the Phoenix Coyotes in 5 games as well. Not the greatest playoff run, especially with that regular season and with the trade deadline that we have, or had, picking up Yuri Hoodler and Mark Giordano. I really thought this team could do something. And when we looked at the Phoenix Coyotes lineup, offensively, I thought we had them covered. Defensively, they had one of the better teams that I've seen. And Mike Smith, I think, was the key factor there. If you take a look at our team, I just want to show you guys the lineups one more time. I was trying to find somebody to figure out, who's to blame for this. And our offense, it kind of shriveled up there in the second round, but the last 3 games, they were there for us. Our defense, look at that defensive core. We don't have the top 2 defensemen, but 85s everywhere, not one player less than 85. So you're thinking that you can keep the puck out of the net, and I think that's the problem right there. Antti Niemi, 85 overall, not bad. But when you compare them to the Phoenix Coyotes, right, they had the Mike Smith right there, 87. Their defense, again, pretty similar. They got the 91, but a couple of 83s in there. So we had the depth. And offensively, nothing impressive right there. So I think their defense and Mike Smith won them that series. Look at the first 2 games of the series, our offense wasn't there. We allowed 3-1. Okay, that's not Niemi's fault. 2-1, not Niemi's fault. But again, remember, they scored that game-tying 1-1 goal at like 30 seconds left, right? So Niemi just didn't clutch the shutout right there when he could have. It's not completely his fault. The offense didn't get him more than only 1 goal, but still, he could have won that game for us. And then games 3, 4, and 5, our offense was there, but the goaltending or defense wasn't. This game we got 3 goals, but we allowed 4. This game we got another 3 goals, and we got the win, sorry. And this game we got 5 goals, but our goaltender allowed 6, right? So the last 3 games there, our offense was playing, but we only managed 1 out of the 3 games. So I think if we're going to take a look at who needs to be moved, who needs to be changed, I think the goaltender upgrade is at the top of the list, all right? I'll show you guys the play. Oh, I went to the player stats of the season, didn't I? Yeah. Hang on a second. Let me go back out and get player stats of the playoffs. And when it comes to the goaltender, right, I want to really see what Ernest Shirelli. Oh, my God, I'm such an idiot. Jesus. I want to see what Ernest Shirelli jumps up to, because that could be our replacement for goaltender right there. We won't have to go out in free agency and make a trade or anything. We can just play Ernest Shirelli, especially if he's like Antti Niemi overall by next year. Why not just play him, right? We got a lot of questions to answer here in the offseason, but before we do, let's just do a wrap-up of the playoffs. All right, so here you go. Here are the forwards. Logan, 10 points in 11 games played, so I don't remember how many points they had after the first round, so it's hard to tell, but he was there, point a game. Jeff Skinner, 4 goals in 11 games played, 8 points, that's good enough. Silverberg, 7 points. Gallagher, 5 points, no goals, though. Pavelski, 4 points. He got a few points there in the last few games of that second round, so that's decent, I guess. Joakim Anderson, he had actually a pretty good playoff run for goals. Palmieri, 2 points. Brett Burns, this was the one that, I always, during the regular season, was saying, his offense or his defensive categories are great. But, when the playoffs come around, you're expecting a first liner to get more than just 2 points, no goals in 11 games played, right? So I will say that in this year's playoffs, he did not have the greatest year. 2 years ago when we had the third round appearance, he had 10 points in 16 games, 7 goals. This time, 2 points in 11 games. That's just not good enough for Brent Burns. All right, so I know you guys were saying trade him. We'll get there. But I agree, that's just not good enough. And Yuri Hoodler as well. I got him for some depth goal scoring. In the playoffs, he had 1 assist. I know he only had third line time, but I wanted him for some depth goal scoring, and he was a -4 with 1 point. So maybe on the third line, I should have just had defensive players, right, instead of having a sniper. That could be something to look at going forward. And defense, Mark Giordano, he was a good pickup, 6 points. No goals, but 6 points. Cam Fowler, 5. Falk, 5. Shattenkirk, 4. Vlasic, 3. Irwin, 2. All right. Yeah, Shattenkirk's a -9 with Fowler, so maybe the first line, who knows. And goaltender, Antti Niemi, 2.45. See, after the first round, I actually remember Niemi's numbers. After the first round, it was like 1.84 goals against average, right? So that went way up if it went to 245 after only 5 games. Well, we only played like a few in the 6 games in the first one anyways. But still, it's like, that went way up there. And save percentage, that was like at 94 before, right? That went down as well. So it's kind of hard to tell Niemi's stats. But if I had to choose one reason why we didn't do good in these playoffs, I think it's the goaltending. definitely think it's the goaltending. So let's follow our AHL team here. All right, stay locked in the net. Honka, our defenseman, he might be ready for next year. Offensive defenseman, we got a lot of decisions to make. Mark Giordano, do we re-sign this guy? Who else? Irwin, is he still going to want like $5 million? I would like to have Irwin on the this top six and maybe Vlasic on the top six as well. Even though that might be a waste of Vlasic and Giordano, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with those guys, right? But we can figure it out. All right, so our AHL team, 5 wins. What are they in, round 3? That's kind of a weird number for our goaltender. Our goalie must have got injured or something. Yeah, maybe this is round 3. All right, scouting assignments. 6 weeks for the WHL. There you go. I think that's actually that might be the final. It might be round 3, but it might be the final as well. It's just weird that my goalie only has 5 wins. We're gonna get swept anyways. Oh, there's a win. We might come back. Yeah, all right, we lost. Was it in? Yeah, it might have been. It might have been the what's it called? The Final Four, like the semifinals or whatever. All right, you know what? I need a drink. Hang on a second. Oh, yeah. All right. So they're offering me a new contract. All right, so this is pretty straightforward. San Jose, 3 years, 46 wins. I can do that. You know what? I'm going to blow my nose, too, while we got this simulating. Hang on. All right, that's much better. So the AHL team had a really good regular season, 51-19-6, and our NHL team also had 50 wins. So we got the shelves are stocked. Man, the Phoenix Coyotes actually won the Stanley Cup. So, we got smoked by the best team in the NHL. That's at least a little bit of a silver lining there. No other team was able to beat Phoenix in the playoffs. So that's kind of good. But it also kind of pisses me off, too, because my mindset of being able to win the Stanley Cup this year was true. If we were able to beat Phoenix, there was no other team in the Western Conference that could have beat us. And once we got to the East, anything could happen. So we had a major chance to make a splash this year, try to win our franchise's first Stanley Cup, but outed in the second round. And I think it might just be, we're too young of a team still. Going up against veterans, just too young of a team. Wasn't able to hold it down in high-pressure situations there. Losing in overtime, losing 1-goal games, all that stuff. So, retirements, do we have anybody? We shouldn't have anybody now. We got nobody retiring. You know what? Let's see if, he did. Joe Thornton retired on Anaheim. So the Anaheim Ducks only got to use Joe for 1 year before he retired. That's rough. And Carolina, no, Patrick Marleau is still there. Okay. That's a rough trade for Anaheim. Okay, so, it's a pretty similar, all right. So here we go. We're at the drafts. Let's see. What do we want to do first? Scouting or contracts? Let's do contracts. Oh, no. You know what? Yeah, we'll do the awards and all that good stuff, the playoff tree. We got the playoffs wrapped up. So it's been actually a West Coast dominated NHL now for the last few years. I think even before the Chicago Blackhawks, it was LA. Before that, it was Boston. So, but 5 years in a row now, LA, Chicago, Nashville, Phoenix, all Western Conference teams. President's Trophy, the Philadelphia Flyers, we just missed out on that. Clarence S. Campbell, Phoenix Coyotes, Prince of Wales, Florida Panthers. So it was Florida versus Phoenix in the final. Oh man, that's a ratings that's a ratings extravaganza right there. Art Ross, Steven Stamkos, Hart Memorial, Steven Stamkos, James Norris, Dmitry Kulikov, Lady Byng, Jonathan Drouin, Calder Memorial, Jonathan Drouin, Conn Smythe, Mike Smith, Vezina Trophy, Mike Smith. There it is, Mike Smith. William M. Jennings, Ryan Miller, Bill Masterton, Brendan Dillon, Frank J. Selke, Patrice Bergeron, Ted Lindsay, Steven Stamkos, Maurice Richard, Alexander Ovechkin. All right, so there are the awards. Playoff tree, just to show you guys. There you go. The West looked like that. Oh, I'm the East. Poor Toronto. They almost made the final, but lost to Florida. Good God. All right, and in the West, Phoenix versus Winnipeg, and Toronto versus Florida, the Final Four. This is 3 years from now, but I highly doubt that. All right, what do I want to do? Let's do the contracts next. Let's see if any players on our team dropped. The big thing I'm hoping is Ernest Chiarelli. If he drops, man, that's going to put a big wrench in our motor. All right, so Chiarelli, all right, 78 overall, 20 years old. He's still got the 4.5 gold star potential. Now, the thing about Niemi is, right, do you want to trade him right now and get an elite goalie back for next year so we're guaranteed to have an elite goalie next year? Because we got him to a 2-year deal, so, it'd be smart to trade him now. I could also trade him in the offseason. I don't need to trade him for a draft pick, right? Or do you keep Niemi because he did get us to the playoffs with 50 wins and have Ernest Chiarelli as a backup, and then when the playoffs happen next year, the first sign in Niemi not playing, put in Ernest Shirelli because I'm hoping that the jump gets him up to at least an 82, 83 overall, right? And that'll put him like 1-1 with Niemi. So you can even use Niemi as a backup. But if you do that, then you're not going to be able to trade Niemi if you're going to use him for all next year. So I don't know what you guys want to do with Niemi just yet. I don't think trading him at the draft is the right decision because we don't know what Ernest Shirelli is going to turn out to be. The good news is he has not lost his gold star potential. But maybe trade Niemi and Shirelli for an elite goalie right now, like a Carey Price or something if we can afford it. That wouldn't be a bad decision. I'd do it if the goalie was young enough. Cam Fowler. So both my top two defensemen, Cam Fowler and Shattenkirk's already got the white star now. Yeah, Shattenkirk's got the white star. What is it with the players that I play on the first line? Cam Fowler, now he's got the red star potential. At least he's already good enough, but there goes another top two defenseman there goes another defenseman that I was hoping to become a top two. God damn, man. So Honka started off at the 4.5 red star, but he's jumped up to 78, so that's good. Seibenaller still has the green star. Falk still has the yellow star, which is good news. All right, but there you go. There's the defensive core. Still Vlasic. Giordano, we got to sign. Falk, we got to sign. Irwin, he hasn't really dropped that much, so he's going to want some money still. But Fowler, man, 84. Why did he go down so much? Hang on, let me just take a look at his stats. 44 points. He's a plus 23. Why is that a bad year? Is it the playoffs? 5 points at -8? That's a great year for Cam Fowler. The same thing happened to Shattenkirk. Hang on, let me just show you guys. Same thing happened to Shattenkirk. Remember after his first year, it was, he had 51 points, plus 18. He won the Norris, and he dropped to red star, man. I don't know what you got to do to keep them up there. Whatever. I've got some bad luck in this one. Right wingers. All right, Nylander, he's still got the gold star potential, which is good. Gallagher, 4 green star. Palmieri, 4 star. All right, so all these guys kept their star potentials. Just checking potentials right now. Skinner kept his, that's good. Silverberg kept his, that's good. All right, and Logan's hit 27 years old now. All right, so when it comes to, players that we can trade, Brent Burns is definitely one of them. All right, but Joe Pavelski. Now, I want to put this question to you guys. Joe Pavelski. I really like Joe Pavelski as our second-line center. We have him signed for like another, 3 more full seasons after this season. So you can still play him for another 2 or 3 years before trading him at 34 years old. And I know we didn't have the greatest playoffs until the last few games there, but he's a good defensive player. And also, look what kind of regular season he had for us this year. 36 goals and 39 assists for 75 points as a +9 as a second-line center. He's an anchor. How are you going to replace Joe Pavelski? I mean, you could with a younger player, but do you want to do that? I still like Joe Pavelski. I still think he really helps out the team defensively and offensively. I mean, look at those stats. But Brent Burns, you guys can make the argument for Brent, and he's only got 1 more year left on his deal, right? So he fits into more of the category to trade. But if you're going to trade Brent Burns, what do you want back? Not a defenseman. I think we can use the same defense core. You got Logan and Pavelski as your 2 centers, all right. Our left wingers could be Skinner and Silverberg still. And then the right wingers, Gallagher on the second line, and then you need a first liner who could replace Brent Burns. Who would you want to get? I know there's going to be people saying sniper, playmaker. Logan's a playmaker. Jeff Skinner's a sniper. I'd say probably another sniper. Maybe not as good as a Jeff Skinner. Maybe a playmaker, but 2 snipers with the playmaker on the first line. That's done us good things in the past. Now, if you're going to get a sniper for that first line, you're not getting like a 50-goal scorer. You get like a 25-goal scorer. 25 and like a 30 guy. Just 55 points, That's what Brent Burns, I was hoping would give us. But if you look at his regular season stats, this first year he did exactly what I wanted. If he could replicate that when he was playing with Logan and Big Joe Thornton, that's the kind of year I'd want out of a power forward. But 49 points last year, only 13 goals for 46 points, this year. That's just not good enough. So I think we can definitely trade away Brent Burns. Okay, and I think our depth is fine as well. So if we're going to make a trade here at the trade deadline, or at the draft, it's I think it's going to be Brent Burns for maybe another player. I don't think a draft pick, though. Let me just quickly take a look at the scouting reports. I know there's going to be people saying move up for the first overall pick, but I don't know. I don't see it happening. Hang on a second. Goalies, there's 2 top 5 goalies. We're not moving up to that. I don't think we have a top pick this year. Sean Day, Andrew Mangia-Payne. Yeah. A lot of these names, I don't know if there's any deep 4-star potential players in this one. All right, so I don't think we need to move up in the draft. So before we head into the draft, let us just figure out if there's any right wingers out there, trading block, first line right wingers out there, or second line right wingers that we can pick up that would be a dirty addition to this team to play alongside of Logan and Jeff Skinner. All right, so let me just do this. I like him to have some youth to him as well. I don't want to pick up like a 30-year-old. So let me just go right wingers. I'm going to find the natural right wingers. So you got Jacob Voracek, Jordan Everly, Tarasenko, Nail Yakupov, Nylander, Korostelov, and Charlie Coyle. All right, so there's not really... Charlie Coyle might not be a bad power forward, but does he solve that offensive problem, right? Jeff Skinner's a left winger, right? So you have to use... I'm just thinking, Nylander might get better, right? Yakupov. You know what? I don't feel comfortable making a trade right here at the draft. I want to put some more scouting into it, and I actually do want to hear back from you guys. So we'll go into the draft. We won't use those assets, Niemi and Brent Burns, to draft a high rookie. All right, we don't have to move up in the draft to get a good prospect. I'll use those guys to trade them in the offseason when we see who's available in free agency, and I want to see what you guys have to say as well. All right, so I don't want to give up my two best assets without really thinking about it. All right, so there you go. Gauthier. Wow. All right, so Detroit got 2 top 5 picks right there. Interesting. So Detroit, Calgary, Islanders, and New Jersey. Detroit, Calgary, Islanders, and New Jersey. I want to check those top picks there. Stefan Sundin, center playmaker. Oh, man, that might just be perfect. Goalies. Yeah, why not, right? Let's see what the super sweet Sundin can do for us. Let's just see if there's anybody else decent here. There's a sniper, Tommy Sateri. I like snipers. You know what? Let's do it. Yeah, Stefan Sundin. Let's see if he's anything like Matt's. So Detroit, Calgary, Islanders, and Jersey. We don't need to draft with our second-round picks. I'll just let the computer do that. I don't have anybody scouted. This isn't year 1 or 2 anymore. It's all like 3-star players now. So let's quickly take a look at the top draft picks here. So the Islanders, Calgary, Jersey, and Detroit. So Jersey, who did they get? Jersey got Julian Gauthier, right-wing playmaker, 54 overall, 18 years old. Not bad. Not a bad pickup at all. The Islanders now. See the Islanders. Who do they get? Do they get a goalie? There you go. Islanders picked up a goalie, and they traded for Malcolm Subban. So they got 2 4.5-star goaltenders in the island. That's good news. That's building for the future. Who was it? Calgary and Detroit, yes. So Detroit picked up 2 draft picks. They also got a 4.5-star goalie at 5th overall. And all skaters... 4 Green Star potential. Sean Day, 1st overall. So 1st overall, only 4 Green Star potential. He still could be good. I'm just saying. And last but not least, the Calgary Flames. Well, where are you? What, do they get a goalie? They must have got a goalie as well. What was there, 3 goalies on the top? Hang on. No. Maybe they got like a 3.5-star player. 3.5-star. There it is. 3.5-star, a 3.5 Green Star player, Andrew Magiapane. Okay, so there you go, boys. I didn't want to go too far ahead in this video. I know we really didn't do much, but I want to figure out what players we are going to bring into next season, and that starts with you guys, you know. But I think Brent Burns and Antti Niemi are the first ones on the docket. I think we can all agree that Joe Pavelski is a needed asset, especially if we're going to compete. Sure, you can look at the playoff numbers, and they're not great, but a second-line center is a second-line center, and you can use him as a penalty killer as well. I don't feel comfortable trading him away, but guys like, what's his name? Guys like, Brent Burns and, I forgot my train of thought there. Brent Burns, definitely we can trade them because of their salary and only 2 years left. Okay, so what do I want to do here? You know what? I don't want to lose any of this, and I do want to just get to free agency, so hang on 1 second. All right, so let us get these players re-signed just quickly here. What's our contract length? What are we looking for? Logan's on a 3-year deal is pretty much the cap right now. Yeah, we've already gone 3 years. I could see that. Jeff Skinner as well. Yeah, so 3-year deal. So if it's a younger player, I wouldn't mind going over 3 years, but 3 years seems to be the right price. So who do we have to re-sign? Let me just get the players that I know I want to re-sign back. Mark Giordano, because he's unrestricted, I definitely want to re-sign this guy. 4 years at 4.7. Yeah, I'll give him that because this guy's a trading asset in like 2 or 3 years when he becomes 34 years old. All right, and I think if I go down... No, I won't be able to get down to 4 mil. but 4.25 I can. All right, so 4.25 for Mark Giordano. Irwin, now this is going to be an interesting with Irwin. If he wants a lot, I might not be able to sign him. See, he still wants like the 4 mil. So that might be somebody that we can't sign. Justin Falk, I can re-sign him, but I can also offer him I can tender a qualifying offer to him just so I can re-sign everybody so I don't allow anybody to walk away. All right, let me just clean up my roster a little bit here. There you go, DeMello. Zip, yep, Braun, yep, okay, that's all good. Yuri Hudler, I don't think I'm going to re-sign him unless I have the cap space. But even still, Palmieri, I got to re-sign. Chad LaRose, I don't need you anymore. All right, don't need these depth players. Can re-sign some more in free agency. Tarasov, no, these are all my young rookies that have no potential. Vladimir Sobotka, Fraser McLaren, I'll wait on you guys. And Jay McClement, I'll wait on you as well. You're 33, so 1-year deal. Stefan Sundin, only 3.5 Red Star potential. He's already 63, which is decent. But I wouldn't say he plays on our team. 3.5 potential players need to be like grinders, not playmakers. Maybe snipers, but never really a playmaker. Two-way, like Harding is good because he's a two-way forward. All right, but still another trading asset. So let us get, let me just get Mark Giordano signed. Let me see how much cap space I have left. The forwards seem to be okay. I might be able to get everyone re-signed. That might, you know what? That actually, I didn't even think about that. I maybe should have traded Brent Burns or Niemi before the draft so that I could have freed up some cap space. That might have actually, I didn't even think about that. So 15 million to sign all these players. Let me see here. Hudler, McClement, I can hold off on. Sabat, okay. Irwin 4, and Falk 4, so 8. Yeah, you should have enough to sign all these guys. We don't have to sign a goalie, do we? No. Okay, we're okay. Yeah, we should have enough to sign these guys. So let me just quickly get these guys signed. Irwin, yeah, I'll wait on Falk, but Irwin and Giordano, they're both probably going to be trading assets of the future. 4 years? No. 3 years, I can go down to 4 mil. There you go. 3 years at 4 mil for Irwin. We got Giordano signed. Falk, get this guy signed as well. 4 years at, I don't know what he'll turn into. Let's go 3 years. Let's save some money with Falk because I got to re-sign everybody in 3 years anyways, and I can maybe re-sign him. So and I can keep this this cap way down here. So yeah, 3 years at 3.75 for Justin Falk. That's good for me. Braun, I wouldn't mind re-signing for some depth. Okay, right wingers. Yuri Hudler. Oh, Palmieri, I got to re-sign. Hang on, Palmieri, definitely got to re-sign this guy. Oh damn, look at it. Look how much money he wants. If you turn out to be that kind of player, man, that's fine by me, but I ain't paying you that until you become it. So 1 year at 2.15 for Palmieri. The game is usually right with that, so Palmieri might become like an 86 overall player next year. Who knows? Sabatka, McLaren, I'll hold off on you guys. And Jay McClement, I got to get back for that. He's a perfect fourth line center. I mean, look at those stats. Face-off, defensive awareness, poise. Might be getting old, but he's still got the 4.5 star potential, so I don't think he's dropping just yet. All right, so let's simulate a day here, see who's available. Who we have left. All right, Palmieri, Falk, Irwin, and Jay McClement all signed. So we have $7 million of cap space remaining. That should be more than enough, yeah. Maybe not Yuri Hudler. He might want a little bit much, and I might want to save that money to get him signed, right? But Braun, if he wants, he's only 82. No, you know what? I think I can release Justin Braun to free agency now. Not a bad depth player, but I can get other depth players at minor league deals right now. I can trade for them, right? He's 29 years old. Let him go find a team. Fraser McLaren, 2-way deal maybe? 1-way. He's a tough guy. Did he play for us last year, really? 63 games played. Yeah, he played decent. Plus, the playoffs, he was a +5 at one time. Yeah, I got to sign Fraser McLaren. He's a good depth guy, if anything else. Yeah, I got to give him the deal. All right. Sabatka, what are your stats like now? Yeah, his defensive category is still decent. I can re-sign Sabatka. Depth, he's only 80 overall. I wouldn't say he wants more than, yeah, that's a decent amount. I'll give you a 1-year deal, Sabatka. You're worth it. You can win face-offs. All right, so, yeah, there's that forward. Let me just see how much money I have left over for Yuri Hudler. Because he didn't do much for us on the third line, and I got him for a third-line sniper. I don't normally get third-line snipers. You guys know I usually get power forwards, grinders, and two-way forwards on that third line. I need a backup goal. Well, yeah, I need a backup goalie just in case. And all the backups that I would sign in free agency would be expensive, so I'll waste it on Hellenis right there. And Yuri Hudler, 5.5 mil. 32 years old. His defensive category has dropped to 82. No doubt he could probably get points if you put him in the top 6, but he's not in our top 6. So you know what? I got him for the playoffs. He did not produce, so I'm gonna let him go. All right. Don't want to sign him to trade him. That's just a waste. It's not realistic either. We all know we could do that. I could just go out into free agency and sign all the best players. I don't want to do that. So now we have everybody signed. We could have signed Yuri Hudler, and we have $5 million left to fill up a roster spot. So goaltender is where you guys come in, right? Niemi, Chiarelli. Do we want to go out and get an elite goalie? I'll leave that to you guys. Defensemen, Shattenkirk, Vlasic, Giordano, Falk, Fowler, and Irwin. Same 6 as last year. I think it's still solid, and we don't have to sign Shattenkirk till next year, and that might be a little bit more. We can make some trades after one more year. Trade Giordano, trade Irwin if we need to after this year, right? But I think defense for right now is just fine. And forwards, if we keep Brent Burns, it's going to be Logan, Jeff Skinner, and Brent on the first line, but he's the guy who we might be able to, change for a sniper or a playmaker. Second line, Joe Pavelski, Gallagher, and Silverberg. Oh, we also have Drayson Bowman signed. He's gotten a little bit better, so maybe there's some depth right there. Third line, Joaquin Anderson, Kyle Palmieri, and Dwight King. And then the fourth line, Fraser McLaren, Sabatka, and Jay McClemens. All right, but we lost some players, so if you guys have some suggestions for the third or fourth line, go nuts. All right, I'll show you guys who's available in free agency here. We'll quickly just wrap this up. We'll see who's available, and then you guys can go nuts with who you think we should trade for or who you think we should sign, if there's anyone there. All right, so unrestricted free agents. Let me just go goaltenders first. Goalies, no one really there. There is a nice potential goalie, but do we need him? I don't think we need him. Defenseman, look, Christopher Tanev, not a bad defensive pickup, but $4 million at 83 overall. We already have defense, right? So we don't really need him. And forwards, potential, yeah, there's some potential guys there. Zach Boychuk, maybe a good depth two-way forward. He's got pretty good offensive awareness, so I don't know. Just throw names out there. All right, and you got Backus as a center. Some depth players, but maybe a third or fourth liner that we can add instead of a Fraser McLaren or instead of a Sabatka if we like somebody else, right? But for the most part, I wouldn't say there's any free agents that are going to affect our top 6 or our defensive core or our goaltending, all right? So it's going to have to happen from a trade. So I'll just quickly show you guys one more thing. Trade block, all right, blah, 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 blah. Let me just bring up forwards, top or second line forwards. There you go. It'll show everybody in the second line position. Here's just right wingers. I'll just give you guys a quick look. All right, so here's a list of second line right wingers with their overalls and their trade potentials that would be easier. I mean, we're trading for a first liner, right? But I'm just showing you the guys who would be easier to pick up, maybe with their potential as well. Let me just hang on. Potential. There you go. You can look at all the potentials with the players also if you want to pause it, right? And now I'll quickly just move it to first line forward and do the exact same thing. So you got the list of the second line forwards who could become first line forwards, and here's a list of the actual first line forwards, all right? You notice the trade value is a lot higher, but yeah, if we want to get that first line right wing, here are all the lists. There's the potentials, all right? So if you guys want to pause the video, go through all the stats on a player that you think would help our team, go nuts. All right, I think we got $5 million of cap space, so we can definitely make a trade and bring someone back, especially if Brent Burns is going out. That's $5 million going out. We can bring $8 million in, basically, if we wanted to. So I'll leave it to you guys right there. The next video will start up year 4, but I think we should aim for the Stanley Cup next year. Second round appearance, 50-win season. Why shouldn't we be better? All right, so let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next video.